My wife got a message this morning. So homeboy is angry at the fact that we make a profit doing what we do, and he tries to break down how we could be cheaper in making our products. His original comment was about how he could use free egg cartons that he bought, like with the eggs in them, to do what we do with those right there. Those are our egg holders. They're shelves that stack and you can put your eggs on them. We think they're handy. So in his message down here, he goes through and says, look at all my math, and this is how much it would cost you to make, I don't know how many of these. I really don't care what he thinks. Just to clarify, he's talking about these shelves. They snap together. They stack very high. Quail eggs, chicken eggs. We also have duck eggs, goose eggs, turkey eggs. You know, the whole thing. But let's take a little venture and figure out actually how much it would cost me to make a set of those. Since, he said like $50 and I could make a whole batch. If I went to our friend's Home Depot, that's what a 1x4x8 costs. This is what a 1x6x8 costs, and that is the lowest grade board that you can get. Here's the stain I use for one little bucket. It's $13.48. I will say that stain does last me a pretty good amount of time because I figured out how to make it last. That's the spray gun I'm using currently. I used to use an electric one that was $130, and 4 of them burnt out on me. There's the screws we typically use, and that's the small container. If I get the big one, it's a lot more expensive. So by my calculations, if I buy 2 boards, the stain gun, the stain, and the screws, I'm already kind of close to that $50. That doesn't include shipping the product, my time into the product, or any of the upkeep on my tools that I have to constantly do because they break. Here's what I do to keep my prices low. I buy big batches of unfinished wood from a sawmill down the road. Support local small businesses. I pay my 3 sons to use this and plane that wood. They make money per board. Also, the blades in this cost $90 for a full set. Then I bring those boards out here to my straight edge station and I use my track saw. It's actually not a track saw. It's just a track saw kit that's sold by freaking, who are they? It's the people that make Craig Jig. That was $200. Not including the saw, just the track. Typically I'd use this table saw, but it broke. I tried to fix it by buying parts for it. Apparently, I'm not good enough, so I have to buy another one. There's another $700. Then I come down to this, some beautiful, good boards that are all good quality. And you know how I know they're good quality? I touch every single one. Locally sourced, ethically, my dust collector. I got it for a steal because a company that I had a friend working at bought it and didn't need it, so they sold it to me for cheap. It was still like, I want to say $500. My wife informs me it was more than that. And we got the miter saw. I got to replace a blade on that every once in a while. My belt sander to get rid of all the nasty bits and the belts that go for it. The hand sander and the discs for that. My drill press and all the bits we use for all of those. Them little boogers are expensive. My router table. My mini router table that we chamfer all the holes on. Look at them just being ready to go. And if the wood's wet, I gotta clean that out because that's blowout, so I gotta use my Dremel and some sanding discs for that. I meant sanding drums. The bandsaw I just had to upgrade to because my other one broke. All the dowels that we have to buy. I tried making my own, but the amount that I use, it really actually is more cost effective to just buy them. Oh, and then there's the glue that we use. The time it takes for us to cut everything, drill everything, screw everything together, and stain everything. Oh, and the multiple rounds of sanding everything goes through because God forbid the wood is even a slightly not glass smooth. Plus my electricity to run everything and the gas it takes me to get from here to the sawmill, to back, to the freaking hardware store to get all that junk, and then back, and then to the post office to drop it all off and ship it and back, and the shipping costs. So yeah, my price might not be $10. I'm not sorry. We make a very good product and we stand behind it 100%. If something makes it to a customer and it's broken, do you know what I do? I send them a new one. If the wood warps on the way to the person and they get it and they're like, well, it's not broken, but it's kind of wobbly. I'm like, send it back. I'll send you a different one. So I guess the moral of the story is here, if you're broke, just say so. I'm just kidding. You might not be broke. Maybe you just don't like that price. That's okay. But your budget does not dictate my prices. Handmade goods are always going to be more expensive than what you can buy at a freaking big box store. If you don't like that, go buy at the big box store. By the way, we've looked at the competition from the big box stores. Almost all of them are made out of like particle board and other junk like that. Also, most likely made in a sweatshop somewhere not in the US. We were making these long before Snobby Lobby and that French boutique Target. Not trying to say we're trendsetters or nothing, but you know. So, dear angry person, I hope you see this. You probably won't because I don't know if you follow me or just my wife to, harass women. Oh, okay. So he doesn't even follow her. He just put it on there because he was pissed off about us not being as cheap as like Amazon and Hobby Lobby and stuff like that. On a video talking about why we were more expensive than Amazon and Hobby Lobby and all that. So, if you don't want to pay handmade prices, don't buy handmade items. Don't say you want to support small businesses if you're going to critique everything about that small business and how they do their business. You can go ahead and try and break down my price all you want. Try and figure that out. But I guarantee you, you make a business based on those prices and you'll go bankrupt in a month.